So let's get started. This is a quick presentation on package design and layout. And I brought some samples, some past student samples for you to take a look at, just so you can kind of govern or see the expectations for the process and the product, the final product. But it's important for you as a designer to kind of understand this moving into the industry when you seek out employment. It's going to help to solidify your credibility as a designer. So some of the things we'll discuss, just the purpose of it, just a quick review of die cutting and scoring, point of sale or POS, and some of the best practices. All right. So rather than actually, we've already covered the details about die cutting and scoring, but it's essential to know that when you're designing packages like this, an industry-based product, slide into it. Obviously, there's construction involved behind it, design behind it. So each part of this element, although there was some sort of flat product designed on the computer screen, there had to be various layers and various meetings involved due to the structure of it, how it was to be assembled for display purposes, how it was going to affect the potential client and target audience, okay? So your scoring and die cutting are all part of that process. So what's the big deal? Why should you care about the structure and process involved in package design? It's real simple. It's one more tool, one more weapon you can add to your arsenal, right? So basically, if I'm looking from an employer's perspective, I'm looking to hire someone coming out of a design-based program, the more you know, the more valuable you can be to me, right? So if I'm looking through various resumes and you have a solid understanding from everything from web through structural design and package design, you're a much more valuable employee. Chances are you stand a better chance to be, being hired. So obviously you can bring a lot more to the conceptual ideas, bring more information to the table. It just makes you that much more valuable. So, and again, it just gets back to what I said day one. If you start incorrectly, if your file structure is set up improperly, then it causes this ripple effect or this poor chain of events that can really cost yourself or your company a lot of money when it gets to the final processes, especially when it's involving package design, because every time we add an additional element or additional process to the package or to the product, that incurs more costs. All right. So really, it's about behavior. What's the one thing I think I've said it before. What's the one thing that makes the world go round? Absolutely, money, right? Money makes the world go round. Everyone wants to get paid money. Everyone wants to sell things, sell products. The more we sell, the more money we make. The more money we make, theoretically, the happier we are, right? Bigger cars, bigger homes, etc. So it's really about being able to govern that behavioral response. As a designer, it's important that you understand the psychology. I know you've worked in color theory. Next quarter, when you get into your ad process class, you'll discuss this even further. But how to stimulate the consumer or the client to make that purchase, how to govern that behavior response. Everything we do has to govern a behavior response. So think about the things that you see on a daily basis. As a designer, you'll be involved in the packaging design process, and it's important you understand what leads to successful product sales. Not only are you trying to hone your application skills so that you're solid on the computer, it's still important that you understand and recognize various attributes and various elements of a design package. That's why it's always stressed highly about your typography. That's why I always talk to you about widows, orphans, hyphenation. That's why I always talk to you about proper file structure. Although these things are important, architecturally laying them out, having that hierarchy of design, what's going to pull the viewer's eye into the package itself, cue them to reading on to more information, to making the decision whether or not to purchase that product, right? That custom market melt piece that we just finished. We talked about the primary element or the primary image being the stimulant. You only have about 4 to 6 seconds to have them flip that to decide whether or not they want to take, or to follow through on that call to action, all right? So it's important you have or recognize these various things.